Polio is spread when the stool of an infected person is introduced into the mouth of another person through contaminated water or food. This is called fecal-oral transmission. It can also cause muscle paralysis and can even result in death. This virus leaves the intestinal tract and enters the bloodstream, attacking the nerves. Polio mainly affects children under 5 years of age, but the amount of polio cases have decreased over the years. 1 in 200 infections lead to irreversible paralysis. Among those paralyzed, 5 to 10% will die when their breathing muscles become immobilized. But the polio cases have decreased by over 99% since 1988, from estimated 350,000 cases then to 460 reported cases in 2013. The reduction is a result of the global effort to eradicate the disease. In 2014, only 3 countries, Afghanistan, Nigeria, and Pakistan, remain polio endemic, down from more than 125 in 1988. As long as a single child remains infected, children in all countries are at risk of contracting the polio. This is because polio is a sporadic disease because it causes cases at random and does not have a genetic contribution. Failure to eradicate polio from the last remaining strongholds can result in as many as 200,000 new cases every year within 10 years all over the world. In most countries, the global effort has expanded capacities to tackle other infectious diseases by building effective surveillance and immunization systems. For example, when polio was very terrible in the United States, FDR created the March of Dimes. You may be wondering, how can I get polio? Well, you can get a disease through your portals of entry, which include your nose, your mouth, your eyes, and other holes that may be in your body.
Ways that kids were affected by polio. First and foremost, which is the worst, is they died from it. Or they were quarantined, which in a kid's life that's probably just as bad. And they can't play with their friends and do what they want. They can't move. So 3 treatments that we have. We have vaccines nowadays, which it's not really a treatment, but it can prevent it in the first place. So that's good. They had the iron lung, which was basically just like this big machine, and it just helped you breathe, and you couldn't move, couldn't really do anything, really couldn't even move your head, so yikes. And then they had physical therapy, which I guess worked pretty well, but it's best just to get the vaccine, not to have it in the first place. So Sabin and Salk were 2 scientists that helped develop polio vaccines. Sabin had the live virus, which that didn't work as well. It was, I guess, administered orally. But the problem with that was it wasn't completely safe, and it ended up killing quite a few children. So that didn't end up working out. So Salk came up with a vaccine with the dead virus, and that one I think was the first safe vaccine that we used, and I don't know if we still use it today, but changed a lot of lives, and it made the polio scare kind of go away because now we had a way to prevent it, and parents' minds were at ease because their kids wouldn't have to live with a disease like that. So today in America, I think almost all children have it. I think it's a requirement for like before school, or maybe it's just highly recommended. But everybody should get it because it prevents polio, like I said. I don't know who in their right mind does not want polio prevented. So, yeah. The herd immunity in the U.S., 80 to 86% of people are immune to it nowadays. So it's not as big of a problem as it was, and you really don't see it much nowadays. 2 countries affected still are Afghanistan and Nigeria, probably because they don't have access to vaccines and stuff like we do. And They don't have the best healthcare in general. Poorer countries usually don't. So yeah, people are still affected by it. Yeah. Boo polio.